Welcome to Kirtland's Center for Teaching and Learning.
Thank you all for coming today. We really appreciate it and for having me here. I'm excited to tell you about what's going on in open education resources and particularly what's going on with free college textbooks. My name is Nicole Finkbeiner, so I'm the Associate Director of Institutional Relations here at OpenStax College, which is a part of Rice University. I am a Rice University employee. We're in Houston, Texas, and then OpenStax College was the free textbook initiative started by one of our faculty down here. I'm a fellow Michigander. I'm from Battle Creek, Michigan, originally moved down to Houston, Texas about 2 years ago. And I worked at Kellogg Community College, the other KCC in Michigan. I know we used to always get the two confused. I worked there for about 5 years doing their community relations work. So I've met your peers and at Kirtland. Okay, so if we step back and think about learning materials today, they're very historical. The materials are essentially one size fits all, and they encourage faculty to conform to this really rigid coverage. And the copyright limitations on faculty kind of discourage you all from is developed in a manner that does not reflect the interrelatedness of topics anymore, and it really restricts access to those who can afford them. So when we use the analogy here at OpenStax College of the historical learning materials, they kind of remind us of a factory. There's one belt that kind of goes through and you get what you get. However, learning and exploration of knowledge looks more like this today. It's a network where all different topics are connected to and inform each other, and topics don't exist in a vacuum. And from this connected network of information, students, researchers, and professors can make new connections and exploit the knowledge in new and meaningful ways. So for example, we are talking with a faculty member right now who happened to mention to one of our staff that she is actually taking our anatomy and physiology book and combining it with our biology book to create a custom textbook because she finds those two work very well together. With many of the traditional students and practices, this network of information is locked up, either by license or format preventing capabilities. But with open standards and open education resources for this knowledge network, the learning environment becomes a lot more like this, which is an open education resource ecosystem where people can take and adapt content, they can work in harmony with others to grow new and vibrant content, and continue the cycle of growth and expansion and increased sharing, and create new and interesting ideas and connections. And so this is really when open education resources come in, because it allows for this sort of ecosystem to be created. It allows people to work together. And so open education resource enablers such as technologies like the internet allow for virtually unlimited storage in databases, complete access, and easy ways to share. And so really, open education resources like OpenStax College really try to take this situation and make it look like this. So that people can cooperatively construct resources and put them in places where others can freely use, adapt, and repurpose them for their needs. And this really removes the whole one-size-fits-all rights reserved statement, making it only some rights reserved. So for example, OpenStax College textbooks are all licensed under the CC BY license, the Creative Commons license, which is the most liberal of the licenses, and you can take and adapt and reuse and remake the content, and all that we request is that you attribute it back to us, the original content. So being from Rice University and coming from the faculty areas, we definitely understand the value of academic freedom, and we believe that open education resources should never be mandated. Open education resources enhance academic freedom in several ways. They provide faculty with more choices for their courses, they allow for permission-free editing and adaptation, and they prevent faculty from being locked into a particular platform or system. So we're very, very big on this. So we are a new type of nonprofit textbook publisher that is committed to increasing access to high-quality open educational content, providing students with financial relief. And I know at a community college that is especially necessary. And then it really increases the freedom and flexibility for faculty to be able to really develop these materials into something they want to use. OER has been around for quite some time, and to be honest, not all open education resources are high quality. And that's really our mission, and what we're trying to do is change that. So OpenStax College is really raising the level of quality on what we produce. We make our materials very easy to use and find. In fact, you can go to openstaxcollege.org and look at our books. You can download them. They're completely free. There's no registration or anything. So it's very, very easy to find them and use them. And we offer them in several formats. We do believe that free is not enough, however. As you know, a lot of times when you say something is free, people tend to think that that means low quality. So we have established very heavy development models to ensure the quality of our textbooks. We have an editor-in-chief, and we work with faculty from across the country. And I'll show you a list in a little bit for one of the books on how to make sure that these are the high quality. We also work with faculty across the country to make sure that the scope and sequence of the books that we offer fits in with existing criteria. And then we partner with groups that enhance content. So our true product is the free textbooks. That's what we specialize, and again, they're completely free. But we partner with groups that can help enhance that content by providing the practice, the online laboratories, and those types of things. So how are we able to do this? A lot of people ask me, well, how can you possibly offer these books for free? And it's truly because of our foundation support. We are supported by several major foundations who really put a lot of investment behind us to do these books. So we've been around since 1999. We published our first textbook in June 2012, and we've completed the remaining 3 on this slide in early 2013. And then we're continuing to grow. We will expand to have an additional 8 books by the end of this year. In fact, statistics, microeconomics, and the 2 macro, well, all 3 of those just published. And we've got an additional 10 books that were just green-lighted for development. So a lot of people ask me at this point, like, how are you choosing these books? Do you have my subject? And what we are doing, our goal is to really focus on how much impact can we have on students. And so we take the courses that have the highest student enrollment nationwide, and those are the ones that we're focusing on at this point, and then we'll work our way down from there. So as I mentioned, I chose just a quick one of our textbooks to take a look at, and I chose Anatomy and Physiology. So this is completely online, and it fits to the standard scope and sequence that we found is true for most anatomy and physiology courses. And I put this slide in here because I did want you to see that these are our senior contributing authors. So these books are written by faculty. You can see there are university, college, and community college faculty on there. Along with the authors that wrote them, we also have about 100 reviewers for each book, and an extensive editorial staff to make sure that they do that. All of our books have recurring themes in them. For anatomy and physiology, you can see them there. The majority of the books have also these included. They're just a little bit different. And 2 that are typically always included are career connections and everyday connections. So we really try to bring it home for the students. For example, the economics textbook now has a thing on Bitcoins in it. So we really try to bring it up to date. We also really, really focus on artwork and making it so that students can see the artwork in a way that's going to be the most beneficial to them. So we've partnered with some groups that have really studied this subject, and we really try to use 2 and 4 color art to make sure that students' attention is drawn to the most important points. Now this next point hurts me a little bit because I'm actually a graduate of Michigan State University, go green, but we did partner with the University of Michigan Medical School because they have such an extensive micrograph collection, and so what we did for the anatomy and physiology text is partner with them so that we can show the drawing and then also what it would really look like. And then, as you just mentioned, students are very, very interactive these days. They can't keep their hands off the computers, and they're constantly looking for ways to interact. So we've built that into our books. We've included a lot of interactive resources that they can do online, including link questions, review questions, critical thinking questions. We also offer an iBook version of our textbooks. Now that is an extra that does cost the student. It's $4.99. So the textbook itself online is completely free. If they want the iPad iBook app, then it is that. But that includes a lot of interactive things. So how do you get the textbooks? There are no passwords, no registrations, and they're available in many formats. So the PDF, the WebView, and the EPUB are completely free at all times. We will never charge for those. So the PDF, you can download it. Students are free to print that out if they want. So there's no problems there. The same with the WebView and the EPUB. For those students that are old school and like me and like to have something in their hands and write all over it, we do offer printed copies of our books at a significantly reduced rate. The majority of our books are somewhere between $30 and $55. So compare that to, anatomy and physiology books. Last time I checked, we're going for about $300, and this is about $55. We can also create customized versions of the textbooks, and again, we are more than willing to help you do that because this is part of our Academic Freedom Initiative. We want you to take these books and make them work for you, and we can even create personalized landing pages for you to use. So this one is the University of Georgia. They have very specific textbooks that they've customized, and they have specific landing pages. So I went ahead and did a quick search to see which Michigan schools are already using our textbooks. And here's a real quick list of some of them that are using our textbooks currently. And they're using them in a wide variety of subjects, but a lot of the sciences so far. So how are we doing? So again, going back to the funding, we are measured by our funders on how many faculty adopt these free textbooks and the number of students impacted. And so as of this morning, we have 551 adoptions, and they have reported to us that there are 86,000 students in their classes, and we estimate that the money saved is $8.4 million. And again, this is in a year and a half. So how do you adopt open education resources? So some people adopt it like a regular textbook and just utilize it. Again, the students can go online and there's no registration or anything, and they can just download it. The only time we're going to ask you for registration is if you want access to the PowerPoint slides and the test banks and things like that. Of course, we will make sure that those are behind a wall where we ask to verify you. A lot of people adapt it to their particular needs. Like I said, they may take a chapter here and there, or they may rearrange the book. And then a few will recommend it to students during a pilot period and then eventually require it. So we have several faculty who have said, I wasn't able to convert over to your textbook for this semester, but I am very interested in doing so, so I made it a recommended option. And let me tell you, when students get in their classes and they say, well, you could purchase this biology textbook or you could use this one for free, a lot of students are opting for the free option. So some quick FAQs, and then I promise I will stop talking. So what's the catch or obligation? There is none. With true open education resources, the only thing that we ask is if you adopt the textbook, please let us know, and please let us know how many students you have, and that way we can report that back to our foundation funders, and also just tell someone else that we're doing it. I don't like X or you don't have Y. No textbook is perfect. We understand that, but we will work with you to customize the book. Do you have single sign-up? We do not. However, you can take all of our files and put them in your learning management system. So I'm not sure what you all use there, but you can load those into D2L or Angel or Blackboard or whatever you're using there. May you adapt or distribute without permission? Yes, absolutely. The only thing, again, we ask is attribution, but you are welcome to adapt and redistribute these materials. Do you have comp copies? Not really. Because we're a nonprofit, we really have limited funds, and so what we ask you to do is go online and take a look at the book online. We can provide iBook comps for faculty if you're interested. However, if a comp copy is going to stand between students being able to utilize a free textbook, we do have a few available. With no sales reps, how do I get service? Yes, we actually don't have any sales reps. I guess I would sort of be considered sales, but I'm really not. But the email address is info@openstaxcollege.org, and we respond to those in about 24 hours or less. And a lot of times you'll get me responding to those. Revisions. What about revisions? We do not believe that revisions should be arbitrary on a 3-year cycle. So we only revise when it's pedagogically necessary to do so. However, all the previous versions of the book will still be available, as well as if you have created customized versions of our books, those will always be available. Yeah. Who do you call if you find an error? Against info@openstaxcollege.org. And can your bookstore order physical copies? Absolutely. We work really, really well with bookstores. And again, if you wanted to, you could also have them printed out as a PDF. So that's what I have today. What questions can I answer for you?
I have a question about your app for the iPad.
Yeah.
You're talking about one app that would show multiple textbooks, or are you talking about a custom app for each one?
There is a custom iBook for every textbook that we offer. I think there's 1 or 2 that we're still in development for. So if I were to send you a comp code, it would be for a very specific textbook to take a look at.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nicole, what 10 books, you said you have 10 books that have been slated for development. Can you tell us what those are?
Yeah, sure. Let's see, it's U.S. history, psychology, chemistry, college algebra, algebra and trigonometry, astronomy, finite math, basic math, and I'm missing 2. I think those were the other 2 economics books that we just published.
Are those on the website?
Some of them are. The ones that we are getting out, we're just putting up a few at a time. And if you try to click on, say, the chemistry one will just tell you when we're planning to have that published, which I believe is fall this year.
Could you email me that? Could you send me that list?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks.
What other questions do you have?
I have a question about the bookstore.
Yeah.
This is open resources, but can the bookstore, if they order some, charge an additional amount to students?
I think so. I'm not sure about that. I will have to ask our bookstore, like our rep that goes out to the bookstores and works with them. So again, we're just trying to keep them, what we charge is the $30 to $50. So we try to keep that extremely low cost, but I'm not sure about that. So I will follow up on that as well. So let me start making myself a list. Okay.
And you said it was able to be loaded into an LMS. You didn't mention Canvas. Do you know of any colleges that are using Canvas that have loaded it?
I do not off the top of my head. I know Canvas is actually contacting us and wanting to work with us to be able to do that on a consistent basis.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, they've been great.
They're seeing this. They're definitely seeing the need to do this.
Yeah.
So, but you could take, for example, you could take the PowerPoints and the test banks and things like that and load those files into the LMS. Is Canvas, so you're using Canvas?
Yes.
Okay. I just got trained on D2L. It was crazy.
Oh,
So if we'd like to see the PowerPoints and test banks, do we just email you?
I will send a link. What we need to do is just have you sign up for an account and get verified as a faculty member for those particular resources. And then once you're verified, you can log in and see all of those resources.
Okay.
So some of them are available, for general view, but anything that students should not have access to, we've put behind that faculty verification wall.
Okay.
I'll send Greg the link to register. Have any of you used any open education resources?
No.
I haven't.
yeah, we have. We've been starting to do some dual enrollment with our K-12, with our high schools in the local area. And one of the packages that we've put together is the classes that we offer are all textbook free, or they have free texts to keep their costs down.
It's interesting. Really looked all of these textbooks for college use, but just recently we've seen a huge surge in AP classes using these textbooks because of the need of the high schools to keep the costs down. But a lot of them, when I contacted them and asked them why that was, said that it was because their local community colleges were using the open source textbooks, so then they needed to switch over as well. So as usual, it's the community colleges influencing things, which is good.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I mean, like I said, I've actually worked at 2 community colleges, and I know how difficult it is with students, especially at the community college level, struggling to afford resources. So I really appreciate you all taking half an hour out of your days to kind of learn about one of the solutions out there. So I will research your questions and get back to you, as well as provide my contact information to Greg, so that if you all have any additional questions, you can just email me or give me a call.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Nicole.
you.
So much. Bye.
Bye-bye.